the Raleigh Public Library. We're delighted to have Siglinda Igner-Crooks here with us, and we'll get to that in a moment. If I could have just a minute of your time, I'd like to plug some upcoming library programs. Our big chili cook-off fundraiser is this Saturday. Tickets are $15 for adults and $5 for children. There's music, there's kids' activities, there's cash beer and wine, and lots of chili to taste. I think we have 24 cooks signed up, red, green, vegetarian, and people's choice. And that, for the first year, it's going to be on the town common. So outside under a tent, the weather looks perfect. Very excited for that. We have a few things coming up in October, on a Saturday, October 3rd at 1 p.m., and I have some of these handouts in the back, too, if you want to take one on your way. Peter Muis, a local author and witchcraft expert, is going to speak about North Shore witchcraft. And I don't know how many of you know, but Raleigh had 7 accused witches and 1 hung. So he's got some local information there, too. On Thursday, October 15th at 7 p.m., we have Jake Carlins. He's been doing this program for 3 or 4 years now. It's meditation, and it's called Stay Sane for the Holidays. So if this time of year kind of makes you crazy and you need some tools to deal with that, he's your guy. And then we have an all-ages event on Saturday, October 17th, the Settlers of Catan, which is a worldwide phenomenon board game. It's a little complex. We have some teachers here for the newbies, and we'll be playing all afternoon. And then, again, with the holiday spirit, we have The Secrets of the Tarot with Sally Cragen, who's an astrologer. So that will be very interesting. Again, thank you for coming. Siglinda Igner-Crooks is a MBA, a certified financial planner. She's currently with Flagship Harbor Advisors. And she's going to tell us all about the ins and outs of Social Securities and how to maximize our benefits.
Thank you, Pam.
Thank you.
So much for coming out. We have about 50 minutes so the library can promptly close at 8 o'clock. Again, my name's Siglinde. One way that I like to introduce myself now is everybody knows Glinda, the good witch. So think of me as the good witch and then just say, do you see Glinda? So that's an easy way to remember. My name, an abbreviated version, is Siggy. Okay? I've been a certified financial planner for almost 20 years now, and an MBA with a finance concentration. I decided I wanted to do this for a living because I have a passion around eliminating poverty. It would be wonderful if we didn't have, if everybody made smart decisions and making the best use of working years so that we all can retire comfortably without worries and have fun with our grandkids or borrow kids if you don't have any of your own and raise the next wonderful generation. Great, so I have to thank Pamela for allowing me to do this. I recently did this seminar also up in Newburyport at the library. It is very, very important information. Just a few statistics to start off. 74% of Americans take Social Security early, permanently reducing their lifetime benefits. So, those are statistics, but I need those people. Many people at age 62 just dying to retire, or if they have been out of work, just issues with age discrimination and unemployment and whatnot. So people just dying to get at that money. But if there's any way, of course, to try to delay that, even if it's just a year or 2 or 3, it's amazing how incrementally those benefits do go up. Okay? Social Security. What we will be talking about is understanding, of course, your benefits. It was for quite a while that we received our annual Social Security benefit statement. Then it stopped for a little while, and then I just had to check again. I was out of the country for 4 years, from 2009 to 2013, and came back again to the lovely United States. And I had to check who is still getting mail statements, because I'm signed up online, my husband's signed up online, but now it's every 5 years, so age 3 months or so before your birthday, age 35, age 40, 45 or so, you do get those statements. But make yourself an account on the Social Security website and you can check your benefits anytime. Okay? So understanding your options is so important, whether you're married or not, or you've split in a previous marriage. Knowing those benefits is absolutely critical. And then, of course, how to get the most out of Social Security that you can possibly can. So I'll delve into the subject matter. So originally, I'm going to take out some more cheat notes, because every time I like to just bring in a few more things, a few more facts that I didn't know when Social Security started, when it was put into place in 1937 by FDR. The first Social Security check went out in 1940, and the first, it was a woman actually, who received the Social Security check up in Ludlow, Vermont. She received a payment for $22.54 in January of 1940. She had paid into Social Security for 3 years, and for a total, $24.75 were withheld from her paychecks. This lady lived to age 100 when I did the math. She was born in 1874 and she lived to age 1975, so she was almost 101. She had been collecting out of the almost $25 that left her paycheck. She collected nearly $23,000 in Social Security benefits. So some extraordinary statistics. Great. Okay. So again, my mission is for people to understand this benefit. Just about a half a year ago, I had a wife call me saying, we need to talk with you. My husband, he will be working forever, issues with the parents, issues with the children, taking care of mom and dad, taking care of the kids. Their own retirement savings have suffered, and now the husband thinks Social Security is defunct. He wants at age 62, as soon as he can, he wants to file for Social Security, even though he will probably be working until 75. And and she knew, of course, that those benefits would be reduced, they would be taxed, and so forth and so forth. So we hope that we convinced him that he will delay for a little bit. Okay, so again, a Social Security statement is what it looks like. I'm sure all of you have seen one. And again, every 5 years now, you get one of those about 3 months or so before your birth date. So on the inside of that page, unfortunately there's not part of this presentation, there isn't that a look at that. So you see at age 62 how much you will be getting for Social Security, then at full retirement age, how much you will be getting at age 70 if you wait that long. So those numbers, if you see that on your own statements, are extremely significant. Okay? And then you are basically making a bet for people who think, let me take it early. If you think you make it to about age 80, generally speaking, you, like with any insurance contract, Social Security is almost like an insurance contract. If you think you'll be around for a while, then it's very worthwhile to see if you can delay as long as possible. Okay? All right, so anyone born between 1943 and up to 54, full Social Security retirement age is 66. And when Miss Fuller, Ida Mae Fuller in Ludlow, Vermont, when she got her first Social Security check back then, that age was 65 as well. So in all those years, it hasn't been raised more than up to those 2 years now that people who were born 1960 and later now have to age 67, and many of us get to live until age 80, 90, 100. Okay, so those are the ages of when your full Social Security retirement age is. So at age 62, again, that's the smallest check you can possibly get. Full retirement age depending on when you were born. And there are also different, so at age 62, if you still do go to work, your benefits are actually reduced, and there's the next slide tells you exactly how that works. And once you have full retirement age based on your Social Security limits, there is no more penalty for working. So another reason why, if you are still going to work, to try to delay getting Social Security, because they're keeping quite a bit of that money if you still do go to work. And at age 70, no penalty for employment, just like there is with if you retire, if you start claiming at full retirement age 66 or 67. Okay, so the next few slides, electing your benefits early versus late. There's some nice examples in there. of how exactly those numbers, what they look like, the effects of working while you are collecting your benefits already, the tax situation. The numbers have changed a little bit from when this is about 3 years old. I had to look up some new numbers, and even I don't keep those in my head all the time. My head starts spinning with all these different numbers, so it's easy to look it up these days. And then a spouse, of course. If a spouse is in the picture, there are some serious considerations to make if you have or used to have a spouse for at least 10 years. Early versus late. So you see the reduction at age 62. You get just a little above 70% of your actual retirement benefit. So it's more than a quarter of what you sacrifice in money. And again, a slide coming up soon will show you what that can look like in actual dollar terms. And then for every year that you wait, so at age 62, it looks like it's about 73% that you would get of your full retirement check. At age 63, you're at about 80% and so forth. And then your benefits increasing quite a bit. If you manage to wait until age 70, your retirement benefit is, the difference between 73 and 130%. That's a massive amount of money. That's in excess of $1,000 a month. These are the numbers of if you take and file for Social Security before full retirement age while you're still going to work. So if you make $15,720 for every $2 over the limit, $1 of that Social Security check is withheld. That's a lot of money. Then if you do reach, in that year that you reach your full retirement age, for every $3 that you're over the limit, $1 is withheld, so it's a little bit less, but it's still very, very significant. Would you like to come in the front? Are you comfortable? We still have 2 chairs in the front here if you like. Okay?
Only if I can move in the back.
Okay, absolutely. We do want you to be comfortable. No. Okay. So only if you have reached full retirement age are there no limits on earnings. So if you manage to hang in there a few years, and then if you say, okay, now I had a break from work for 3 years, and then go back, then your benefits are not withheld anymore, any Social Security checks. Yes?
If you retire early,
Yep.
So you are subject to the income limits. Even though you retire early, once you hit full retirement age, are you allowed to earn as much as you want?
Beyond.
Or are you locked in when you make the decision to retire early for earning income?
Okay. So if you are still working and you're collecting Social Security, if you've not reached full retirement age, they withhold $2 for every $1 over the limit, and that year when you are hitting full retirement. Did I answer your question? I'm not quite sure.
Well, I didn't know if I could only earn, let's say, $15,000 this year because I retired early.
Yeah.
Once I reach my full retirement age, would I then be eligible to earn $41,880?
What? Yeah.
Or would I be locked into the 50 because I made that decision?
No. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so once you have reached your full retirement age, no limits to your earnings, no money is withheld from your Social Security check.
And do they increase the limits every year?
They've gone up a little bit. It was worth it for me to change it, but it was minimal, a few $100s, $1,000.
So you can
Very
collect
small.
at 62, whatever the rate is that they'll send to you.
Yep.
And then you can work and earn $15,720, paying in taxes on that. Social Security and Medicare on that. And then if you earn $16,721, then you start paying.
If you earn $15,719, nothing is withheld from your Social Security check. So as soon as you hit $15,720,
Then they start withholding it from your social security check.
Correct. Your social security is reduced. Okay.
For that year.
Yes.
For that year.
Then, so there's number one, kind of a penalty for much less that you get of your social security check if you're still going to work, and your money is also taxed at a greater rate. So if you are a single filer, so provisional income, there's something called adjusted gross income. And for Social Security, we're looking at a different number, a number called provisional income, which is like your adjusted gross income, but they add back in any non-taxable interest that you may have had from municipal bonds. So let's say you have $200,000 in municipal bonds and you didn't pay any taxes on the interest that you earned on those bonds for federal income tax purposes. For purposes of taxing your Social Security benefits, that number is brought back in to calculate something called your provisional income. Okay, so there's some tax-free income that you would ordinarily not pay federal income taxes on, but they tax your Social Security check. Okay, there's a different number they calculate, your provisional income. So if your provisional income is under $25,000, no taxes. If it's between $25,000 and $34,000, up to 50% of your Social Security check gets taxed. If it's more than $34,000, up to 85%. 17 million people are not affected by that. That tells us that there are a lot of people whose income is so low that it doesn't affect most people. Only about 30% of people who actually have to pay taxes on their Social Security. And then different numbers for married filing jointly. So if you make more than $44,000 in, again, provisional income, the ordinary income from your savings accounts, interest, CDs, you're probably asking me what interest on your savings accounts and CDs, right? We haven't had any for such a long time. Any income still from your earnings, and then again, interest from municipal bonds that you would ordinarily not be paying federal taxes on. If it's over $44,000 as a couple, then 85% of your Social Security is taxed. So here are a number of different options if you have a spouse. Number one, the lower earning spouse collects her own individual benefits. So as with spouses, you take out your Social Security statements, you see I'm getting $600, my husband is getting $1,500, and those are frequently numbers that I'm looking at. Or I'm getting $1,200, my husband is getting $1,800. So you then have to look and see what am I better off filing as a spouse or on my own benefits. Your spousal benefits are 50%, so let's say your spouse has $1,800 benefit and yours is $1,200. As a spousal benefit, you would get $900, so 50% of that $1,800. So you would be better off filing, of course, and you automatically get that number anyway, that higher benefit amount, not the lower benefit amount. But let's say your own Social Security benefit is $700, again your spouse is $1,800, so 50% of that, $900, you would be better off filing as a spouse and get those $900 rather than your own $700 that you qualify for. Okay? Then option 2, lower earning spouse may collect a higher, so that's just what I described, up to the 50% of the spouse's full benefit, if the spouse has filed. And then there's something that comes into play that many of you may have heard of, the file and suspend. So let's say you are dying to get your spouse's benefits, but your spouse still wants to continue working for a few more years as long as that spouse has filed, but then you can immediately suspend those benefits so that the husband or the wife can still go to work for a few years, let those benefits go up, but then the spouse who wants to get the Social Security and doesn't want to work anymore can get the higher spousal benefit. We're looking at a few more examples so that I go over it a second time to make sure that you understand how it all works.
Both collected, right?
even if one, so let's say one spouse still wants to continue working, and one spouse decides, I'm done, I've had it, I just want a garden. Okay, so one spouse can say, oh, I'm still having fun, I'm still going to continue working. So that higher earning spouse would file for Social Security and immediately suspend, and then the other spouse who wants the garden and cook dinners can get that half of the spousal benefit if that is higher, if that is in your best interest. Okay. And very important to mention here, if you're divorced, as long as you've been married for 10 years, and so that ex-husband, ex-wife, as long as in that situation the spouse doesn't have to file, you can get at your ex-spouse's half of their Social Security. So you need, basically they give you that information, or you have to basically ask an ex-spouse to release that information to you so that you can calculate if that would benefit you. And of course, widowers get 100% of benefits, no reduction. Okay, so here we have an actual example. So we have Anne at age 62 who would qualify for $675. Husband Sam, $1,562, and the spousal benefit would be $724. So of course it would benefit Anne to file for spousal benefit, because 50% of $1,562 is $724, and roughly $50 more than if she filed on her own benefits. Okay? Those same numbers at age 66. So if they both manage to wait under the scenario at age 62, we're talking roughly $2,300 that this couple gets jointly for Social Security. At age 62, the $2,300 goes up to $3,100, so $800 a month more. And of course, the wife's benefit has grown, and the husband's benefit has grown, and still the spousal benefit is still higher for Anne than her own benefit. At age 70, it has flip-flopped. In that situation, Anne would not be filing for spousal benefits because her own are greater than her spousal benefits. Okay. Any question about this slide? Go ahead.
If your spouse is already receiving benefits,
Yeah.
and you're either waiting until age 66 or trying to wait till age 70, will that increase accrue if you take spousal benefits now?
Yes, so if it turns out that your spousal benefit is actually greater, you can actually file for spousal benefits, and then if that should ever flip, that you actually gain more in Social Security benefit if you file as yourself, you can switch from getting spousal benefits versus your own. So let's say at age 65, your spousal benefit is $1,500, but then, so you file for your spousal benefits, and then at age 70, though, it turns out that now you could get $1,700. You can switch to your own benefits.
So between 66 and 70, my own benefits are earning 8%. Are my spousal benefits also earning 8%?
If they increase, if you delay,
do they increase it?
See how the spousal benefits increased as well from age 62 to 66. After the full retirement age, they don't increase anymore. Only up until full Social Security age. So it doesn't, if you file for spousal benefits, it doesn't pay to wait. They don't, only your own benefits still increase. You see at the bottom, at age 66 it's $1,035 for spousal benefits, and at age 70 it's still the same. So they don't grow anymore. So no benefit for waiting. But you can file, because in that scenario the spousal benefits are greater than your own. But then at age 70 you would be switching from taking the spousal benefits that you've been getting since age 66. Now you can switch to your own benefits and get an extra $145. So many tricks. Yeah. Bernie Sanders is hoping to increase the Social Security wage base to prop up the Security Trust Fund. So that's one thing that we learned from Bernie Sanders on Sunday at the Seabrook Middle School. So right now, what's the number? If you make more than 118,500, no more Social Security is taken out of your paycheck. And Mr. Sanders wants to do away with it. So if somebody making $300,000 or $500,000 a year, that money would still be taxed for Social Security, but the Social Security check wouldn't increase. The biggest Social Security check right now is at full Social Security age is $2,663. If you retire at age 62, the most you can get is $2,025. If you wait until age 70, it's $3,501. That's the most. That's where it maxes out today. Okay, I haven't talked about that slide. Okay, so here are this one strategy that I'd already touched upon, claim and suspend. So the definition of that is FRA, full retirement age. If you've claimed your benefits already and then suspend the benefits so that if you still continue to work or you want to let your own benefits grow and claim your spousal benefits, you can flip from your spousal benefits to your own benefits. Again, the benefit of that is that the spouse claims a spousal benefit for the higher wage earner and still continues accruing his or her own benefit. Next strategy, claim now, claim more later. So again, you can, with this one example that we saw earlier, looking to see what benefit is greater. Is it my own or half of my spouse's? So if half of your spouse is greater than your own, you can take that now. And again, 4 or 5 years later, if yours switches to be higher, you can make a switch again. And the benefit again of that is earn delayed credits and then claim the higher personal benefit at a later age, or may help a spouse to receive a greater survivor benefit. Very important also. And a do-over is if you meet anybody who says, oh, we decided we'll just do Social Security, we'll take it now, and then you tell them, well, you've seen the seminar, do some research, double check your math, you have 12, within the first 12 months of doing so, you can reverse it and change your mind. Okay? And it's only once in your lifetime within the first 12 months. So, tonight still, before you go to bed, or maybe tomorrow or on the weekend, take a look at your Social Security statement, see if you like what it says on there. Hopefully you all do, and then start strategizing on how to maximize the benefits and share that information. Money should not be a taboo subject. We should talk about money. Many people are struggling significantly, so money, we need to talk about these things, I think, and hopefully help other people make better decisions. So determine when to take those benefits so that you hopefully don't lose with Social Security withholding if you still go to work, and the taxation and all of that. So hopefully everybody can stay in the workforce and happy. We need our 62, 63, 64, 65, 66-year-old people to still teach a lot to our next generation. So hopefully the work picture continues to improve. But I just heard a statistic today in Boston. Even though unemployment numbers have gone down, the jobs that we've mostly gained are jobs that pay very, very poorly. So, yeah, not very good. Okay, so these are things you should pull together if you want a free consultation and run these numbers. Just to give you an idea of what would be important, there's a proprietary software I use from a company called BlackRock. So I'm a registered investment advisor with a company called Flagship Harbor. We're a small boutique firm out of Boston, And LPL, Linske Private Ledger, is our broker-dealer. So as an independent advisor, there are many, many, many companies that I get to work with. And one of the best tools that I've done lots of continuing education on and continuing education credits is with a software tool, a proprietary tool from a company called BlackRock, in case you're wondering. So the different numbers that can be plugged into this piece of software to help you figure this out. Because unfortunately, Social Security, does anyone have experience going to a Social Security office and talking with them to get some numbers? Has anyone been to a Social Security office? Okay. Supposedly not very helpful. Very, very busy people, and you basically need to know what you want. They will not help you figure out for the most part. Okay, so don't expect much help from them. They are overworked, and yeah. So I hope you enjoyed this information. Again, spread the word, family members, friends, making sure that people get the most that they can for the hard work that they've put in, and hopefully we can increase the Social Security wage base so that our Social Security Trust Fund gets funded and we don't have to worry about down the road having trouble and people getting reduced benefits. So if you could if I could ask you all to make sure that you've signed in, and then of course if you have any more questions. Any more questions? Go ahead.
Okay, one is retired already.
Yep.
One continues to work
Yep.
past 65, can collect some of the spouse's
Yep.
benefits.
Mhm.
Is there any limit to the working person on how much they can earn without, or would they be penalized? You had a figure up there, 41,888, is that?
Right. So the year that you reach full Social Security retirement age, $3 for every one that you make over that 41 something is withheld, but then in the following year, no penalty to the person claiming Social Security already, getting a monthly check, and still going to work.
Okay,
So,
but what about that thing that was suspended? So in other words, I'm almost 66, so if I were to retire, not retire, keep working, I can collect a portion of his Social Security. Is there a limit? Is that 41 a limit on mine, and then they're going to start?
So it's a joint income. Joint income.
Joint income.
So on your tax return, let's say if you pull out your year 2014 taxes, don't look at your adjusted gross income, which you see on your federal return on the first page, second page. You have to calculate, what is it called again? I already forgot again. Provisional income. So not your adjusted gross income, which you see on your 2014 tax return, but you have to, so it only applies anyway if you have tax-free municipal income. That you would have to add to adjusted gross income to come up with that provisional income to see how much of your Social Security will be taxed. So if you have any municipal income, it's the adjusted gross income plus interest earned from municipal bonds that would be added in. And if you then exceed the 41-something thousand, then 3 of every $1 over that limit would be taxed, but not after you reached full retirement age.
So the 41, I guess I'm still not understanding. The 41,888, is that just for the working person, or is that combined? That's combined.
When you say in the year full retirement age is reached, so I'm going to be 66 in June, and I may stop working in June. I may not.
Right.
So if I continue to work, but it's just the year, so that would be the year going June to January 1st?
Tax year.
Right.
So,
So if I turn 66 in June,
yep.
and I stop working, or I work, let's say if I continue to work, then for every $3 over that 41, but that's only until just till January 1st, correct, for 6 months?
Right.
Okay.
Just a short period. Any more questions? It is, yeah. I know. Great. So again, please take some refreshments. Ask me if you have more questions. I'll still be here for another 10 minutes or so. And if you want to call me tomorrow or on the weekend, if you're running some numbers on Sat, well, this Saturday we'll be busy with the chili cook-off. But you're welcome to call me Sunday late morning, like 9:30.
Thank you.